Okay, here are the rules for my level 1 challenge. No items in battle, no rare candies. Your Pokemon starts at level 1 with 0 EVs and experience. Your Pokemon start off with their starting moves and can learn moves via level up or TM. You can evolve your Pokemon. Each TM can be taught once per run, unless it can be obtained multiple times in the game. For example, you can buy Substitute multiple times at the game corner. So in some runs I may override my substitute and then reteach it again. And last rule, no glitches or exploits, except you can use glitches to obtain your starting Pokemon and change it to level 1. You can use an infinite number of items outside of battle. The TM rule still applies here. I mainly put this rule in just so I can have infinite PP ups, so I don't run out of attacks. And lastly, I can use save states, but only outside of battle. That's just to speed up the time it takes me to complete this challenge. It doesn't actually make the challenges any easier. Here's my Ghastly. Here's the moves I chose to start with. The 3 standard moves, plus Confuse Ray for some added consistency. Okay, so let's get this challenge started. So, first Pokemon I'm going to have to take on is the Dugong, which is a big problem for Ghastly. The problem is that Dugong has Rest. The game's super intelligent AI thinks that Rest is a super effective move against Ghastly due to its poison typing, which means it's going to spam Rest. That is terrible for me because I have Toxic, which is the only move that can kill Dugong. And it's just going to spam Rest and keep on healing before I can knock it out. Luckily, Dugong does have luckily Ghastly has Confuse Ray, which gives Dugong a chance of hitting itself in confusion, which makes killing it more consistent. In fact, my setup is so consistent, it takes me over 20 minutes to knock out Dugong for the first time. So, yeah, I'm gonna, spoiler alert, I'm actually gonna lose this fight. I'm just showing you Dugong just so you can get a feel for it. I finally get lucky because she uses Super Potion a few times and I finally knock it out. Alright, I'm skipping to Lapras because I'm about to win the challenge. I confuse it. It confuses me. I hit a Toxic on it. And it hits itself in confusion. I feel like I've got this in the bag. Confusion doesn't knock me out. And I knock myself out in confusion. So, yeah. Took me over half an hour to get back up to Jinx. Jinx hits me with an Ice Punch, which is a 25% chance. I poison it. I try to confuse it, and it hits me with another Ice Punch. So after half an hour, I lose due to a 1 in 16 chance. Alright, so just 3 attempts later, I get this run. Alright, so I poison the Dugong, I confuse it. Now I just start spamming my double teams so I can beat the rest of the Pokemon. And yeah, if I actually get to knock out the Dugong, Rest is very helpful because it just wastes a couple of its turns. I mean, while it's asleep, while it's awake, it just wastes 1 turn. Poison it just as it wakes up. It hits itself in confusion, takes poison damage. I've nearly got all my double teams up. Getting some good confusion luck, which is a 50-50 chance of it hitting itself. It hits itself 3 times in a row. It tried Aurora Beam, which is very nice. Lorelei uses a Super Potion, and it hits itself in confusion. I knock it out. Beautiful. Now for the Cloister. I go for Toxic straight away. Lucky Clamp can't actually hit Ghastly because normal doesn't hit Ghost unless Clamp's a water type move. I don't actually remember. But Cloister doesn't put up any resistance really. And Ghastly's actually one of the strongest Pokemon at this point against Lorelei. Because it doesn't just poison the Pokemon, it also confuses the Pokemon, which gives the Pokemon even less chance of hitting me. And I can't take too many hits because I don't have the ability to create an infinite amount of substitutes. Slowbro is also pretty easy normally because it has amnesia, which stops it from hitting me. Alright, so I'm in good shape against the Jinx. I hit the Toxic, it misses me this time, thankfully. I confuse it. I can still make another 3 substitutes if I need. So I just keep on spamming substitute in case it hits me, just in case. And it doesn't quite go down, and it's down. Alright, now the Lapras. I'm in super good shape. I confuse it first. Poison it. It can't confuse me because I'm hiding behind a substitute. I actually poison it this time. So now all I have to do is spam substitute because if Lapras hits me, I'll have a substitute back up immediately, and yeah, I'm guaranteed to win at this point. I don't know why I put up a confuse rate in. I should have just kept on spamming substitutes. But yeah, that is Lorelei defeated. 4 more trainers to go. Okay, so that took me over an hour. Bruno, on the other hand, only took 3 attempts. So I start off strong behind a substitute. I confuse Onix. Build up a couple of double teams. Build up a 3rd double team. Confuse the Onix again. Hits itself. I put up a substitute. I use Toxic. I miss. Finally get it. Bruno's wasting time with X defend. While I build up my evasion, it hits itself with confusion. It's taking poison damage. I'm getting more double teams up. It uses slam, which can't do anything. And I use a confuse ray for safety. I'm outspeeding it now due to badge boosts. There we go. That's the Onix. Hitmonchan gets poisoned straight away, which is nice. I confuse it. Ghastly's a bit more consistent than other Pokemon due to Confuse Ray in the early stages of the Elite Four. We'll find out how good it is in the later parts of the Elite Four. I love it how Hitmonchan's using double teams while it's slowly dying of poison. Next is the Hitmonlee, which starts off with a double team, which is bad. 2 double teams for it. Lucky I hit the Confuse Ray. It hits itself in confusion. I get the Toxic, almost guaranteeing myself the victory. X defend, which is pointless. Alright, so the next Onix hits me with a Rock Slide. I confuse it. I put up a substitute for safety. It hits itself in confusion. I poison it. Now I just use Confuse Ray again because it must have snapped out of confusion. Bruno wastes time with X defend. Another X defend, waste of time. It's slowly dying of poison. And yeah, that's the Onix pretty much dead by its poison, not confusion, because Bruno used a million X defend, so it didn't do much confusion damage to itself. So now I have to choose what to get rid of because Hypnosis is going to help late game. So yeah, I don't know what I choose. Takes me a while to figure it out, I guess. I mean, I would probably get rid of Substitute now with more experience, because you can just teach Substitute again since you can buy infinite substitutes from the game corner. But must have gotten rid of Confuse Ray, which may hurt me late game, but you'll find out in the rest of the video. And Machamp's pretty easy, so there's not much to say really. And that is Bruno. And Ghastly is evolving, and I will let her, because it gets stronger moves. I mean, better starts. And now for Agatha. Now, Agatha took me almost an hour to beat. And that's not because Agatha was super hard, it's because in most battles, I got pretty far in them, and it took a while to knock out Agatha's Pokemon, so yeah, most of the battles are drawn out, so say I had 10 attempts, those 10 attempts probably took me the 50 minutes. So yeah, now I've got Dream Eater because I can put Agatha's Pokemon to sleep, and I can heal, which is very good. And I must have gotten rid of Toxic, because Toxic and Hypnosis don't work well together, since you can't have a sleeping Pokemon also be poisoned. So yeah, I think I'm up to the last Gengar here. And I ran out of PP. One of the main reasons I took over 50 minutes to beat Agatha. I think this is another attempt where I actually run out of PP again, which, yep, means I have to be more careful with my future attempts. I reckon if I had more experience fighting Agatha, I would have actually beaten it a lot quicker because I would have been more careful with my PP. I know luck's involved, but you also have to increase your chances of winning as much as possible by using your moves more carefully and reducing your chances of missing and conserving enough PP to actually kill the Pokemon. Okay, here's the winning run against Agatha. So it uses Substitute, so I build up a few double teams if I don't hit myself in confusion, which I do twice. I'm not confused anymore. 2 double teams. It tries Substitute, which does nothing. I put my Substitute up, which means Confuse Ray can't hit me again. I put it to sleep. I use Dream Eater, which heals me. I'm at full health again, so Hypnosis, Dream Eater's very useful. Super Potions are bad, but it only uses 1, and I knock it out before it wakes up. Alright, doing pretty good for PP now. I don't know, I'm spamming Substitute. Maybe I'm hoping it uses Substitute and switches out. And I'll go for Hypnosis as it puts up its Substitute, which is a weird timing. I've only used 2 double teams so far. I'm just hoping Agatha will switch out Gengar because it hurt itself putting up a Substitute, and I'm hoping it'll switch out so the Substitute goes away, which it does finally. That's my 3rd double team. I put it to sleep for Gengar, which means I can probably knock it out without it using substitutes. Oh, Dream Eater misses because it wakes up. It can't make substitutes. Lucky I put it to sleep before it uses Super Potion, allowing it to make more substitutes. And there we go, that's the Gengar. I level up, so any badge boosts I have are reset. I missed the Haunter, hit it with Hypnosis this time. It switches, so Dream Eater misses. It switches again, so Hypnosis does nothing. It switches again, so Dream Eater misses. This is Hypnosis misses twice. Hypnosis finally hits. Now I finally get to spam Dream Eater on 2 Pokemon that are asleep. So, yeah. Agatha's masterful switching out tactics will not work anymore. Too bad it's a 4-shot for the Haunter. Alright. The Arbok. I think the Arbok's a 3-shot, but the crit makes it a guaranteed 3-shot. Super Potion, not good. Hopefully it stays asleep, it wakes up, but I use double team for some reason. It's like I sensed this happening. And I just leveled up, so now I've got, 3 badge boosts, and I don't think I'm going to level up before the fight's over. So I think it was good timing. The last Gengar put me to sleep, but I had maximum evasion for it. So its powerful psychics didn't threaten me much. And I'm doing enough damage to it since I've got 3 badge boosts. So it's a 4-shot instead of like a, 6 or 7-shot. It doesn't heal. I have plenty of PP left, I think. It puts me to sleep because, the game likes to annoy me. It still keeps on missing. I finally wake up. It hits me with Lick. I miss Hypnosis. It misses Hypnosis. I hit Hypnosis. And I finally knock it out. So, as you can see, that battle took forever. That is why it took me almost an hour to beat Agatha. Because the few attempts I had took forever. And I even sped that attempt up a little bit. Alright, so time for Lance. Okay, so here was the strategy for Lance. What I did was I used 4 double teams against Gyarados so that I could effectively dodge its attacks. Then after I bet Gyarados, I'd use 1 double team against each of the Dragonairs so I could outspeed them because they were very annoying, so it was important to outspeed them. And I'm just showing you one of my early attempts where I was pretty lucky. I actually get to the Dragonite. I skip the Gyarados fight because I'm not successful in this attempt and Gyarados takes forever, so showing you the Gyarados part is just a waste of time. It's nice outspeeding the Dragonairs because whenever they wake up they can't do anything and then I can put them to sleep before they can act. Assuming Hypnosis didn't miss, of course. Also, I dropped Substitute because I needed more attacks. I actually not ran out of PP in this fight, so Substitute was replaced by Thunderbolt. So I could damage the Gyarados heavily, which was necessary. It also was good against Aerodactyl, as you just saw. And Substitute wasn't as necessary in this fight because the only physical attacks that could hit me were Aerodactyls, so if I put Aerodactyl to sleep, it usually wasn't a problem. So my survival method was to tank a hit if I got hit, put the Pokemon to sleep, heal with Dream Eater, and then rinse and repeat for all the Pokemon. So back to my first significant failed attempt. After missing 4 Hypnosises, which is a 4% chance roughly, I tanked a Blizzard from Dragonite and survived, and it freezes me, thus making me lose when I should have won. It took another 50 minutes to actually make it to this attempt. Actually, before I start, there was a little clip in there of one of the Dragonairs paralyzing me with Thunder Wave. I just put that in there to show how annoying and how run-ending it can be if a Dragonair hits me with the Thunder Wave. That's also why I saved up a double team to outspeed one of that Dragonair. Okay, here is the actual run where I finally beat Lance. So it hits me with Dragon Rage, which is fine. 50% of Gyarados'... Oh, actually, only one of Gyarados' moves are harmful on turn 1. Turn 1, which is just a Hydro Pump. It is asleep. I Thunderbolt it. I Dream Eater it to heal. Thunderbolt it again. Use this Hyper Potion. Thunderbolt. Hydro Pump miss, which is great. I would have died. Dragon Rage, survive on 4 HP. Knock it out with Thunderbolt. So, lucky I get a Thunderbolt miss. It wakes up straight away. Dream Eater misses. It misses Thunder Wave again. I use Double Team while it's asleep. I didn't actually do my strategy in this run. I guess I was spacing the double teams differently. Maybe to save up some more for the end of the battle. Alright, so I've got 3 double teams set up. I put the Dragonair to sleep. It wakes up straight away. I put it back to sleep. Thunderbolt does nothing to it. But I don't want the Hyper Potion to kick in, so I'm trying to be careful with the range of health I knock it into, which I didn't do a good job of. Finally, that's Dragonair number 1. Dragonair number 2 hits me with Ice Beam, but I've got a high special, so it can't kill me. I outspeed it with Double Team. I get a dodge, which is nice. Dream Eater heals me up. It's doing about a quarter. Put it back to sleep since it wakes up. Gen 1 sleep is broken, because I can just keep on putting it to sleep and it can never wake up as long as I don't miss. I don't know why I used Thunderbolt there. Dream Eater would have probably knocked it out. I was hoping it did less damage, I guess. Aerodactyl misses, which is nice, twice in a row, because I missed the Hypnosis. It wakes up straight away, gets hit by a Thunderbolt, gets paralyzed. That's amazing. I don't worry about Hypnosis. Paralyzed again. Alright, so I'm in great shape, taking on the Dragonite. It misses Blizzard, I miss Hypnosis. It hits me with Blizzard, which should not knock me out. Survive just. Set up 3 double teams now, I believe. I believe I saved up 3. So now I've got some badge boosts. I surely would outspeed the Dragonite. Yep, I do outspeed the Dragonite. I'm slowly healing off of it. I put it to sleep before it can act. Now time to finish it off with some Dream Eaters. Critical hit didn't really make much of a difference since it nullifies the badge boosts. Put Thunderbolter, survives, misses a Thunder, and I knock it out. Alright, so that was Lance. Time for the rival fight, the final rival fight. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so I outspeed the Sandslash. We're speed tying, by the way. Put it to sleep. Set up 2 double teams so far. Now I definitely outspeed it with 3 double teams. I got this attempt 5 minutes after 5 minutes of resets, which is pretty lucky. Put the Sandslash to sleep. It wakes up straight away. I'm not missing Hypnosis, amazingly. And that's the Sandslash. So now Thunderbolt is doing nothing to the Alakazam. I'm just grateful that it's still asleep. Critical hits, nice. And that's Alakazam. Pretty lucky it didn't hit me with Psychic. I put Executor to sleep before it can act. Build up another double team for some badge boost. Dream Eater and Thunderbolt are doing nothing since Executor resists both of those moves. So, yeah. This is going terribly. But I'm still alive, which is nice. I've got 3 badge boosts now with all my double teams. So yeah, pretty lucky, very lucky. 5 minutes of attempts. I'm in this run so far. Will it heal? It does not heal. I was very lucky. Alright, now I'm up to the Magneton. It hits me with Thunder Wave after I miss Hypnosis because I outspeed it. And it critical hits me. I'm dead. Damn. That would have been nice to actually beat it that quickly. But no, doesn't go my way. So since I needed to do more damage and I couldn't really find any moves that fit the criteria, I replaced Thunderbolt with Psywave. And Psywave does damage from 0 up until my level multiplied by 1.5. So I was hoping that 36 times 1.5, that's 54 damage. I was hoping that would be enough to, if I got some good rolls, I was hoping that would be enough damage to actually, make my way through the run. Actually, I kept Thunderbolt and got rid of Dream Eater. As you can see in this attempt, I'm getting poor Psywave RNG, and it's taking me forever to knock out the Sandslash. Yeah, so that clip was just to show how poor the Psywave RNG can be. I actually persisted with Psywave for another 50 minutes. Then I tried using Dream Eater instead of Psywave again for a couple of attempts. I got this attempt. So I skipped to the Magneton. So I'm doing alright against it. It hasn't paralyzed me yet, which is very nice. It does a lot of damage to me. I don't know why I'm not trying to put it to sleep. I must have run out of Hypnosis PP, if I had to guess. Full Restore, lovely. I mean, I know I haven't showed many full restores activating, but it actually happens a lot more than what I'm showing. It's just that the full restore runs ended early and I didn't show them. So, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to use Psywave, because look, I've run out of Thunderbolt PP and Hypnosis PP, which means I can't do any damage. And Struggle's never going to win. So yeah, I persisted another 50 minutes using mainly Psywave because I thought with Thunderbolt and Dream Eater I'm going to run out of PP too often. Yep, so far this is almost taken me 2 hours, which is ridiculous. It's the last fight of this level 1 challenge and I'm level 36, not level 1, and yeah, it's the hardest one for some reason. Alright, so I finally get this run. I've switched back to Thunderbolt and Dream Eater because I'm so demoralized that I just wanted to change something. I'm pretty lucky in this run. I've got the Sandslash asleep and I've got built up some double teams. Sandslash wakes up, I miss it, it misses Earthquake, which means I don't die. I use Dream Eater, and it's a 3-shot. Next is Alakazam, which is scary since it tanks so many hits and can one-shot me with Psychic. It's asleep, I start going for Thunderbolts since it doesn't resist it. So I think I've used only 3 double teams so far, which means I'm saving some badge boosts for later. Critical hit was very lucky. Now's Executor. Yep, I use a double team. It misses Hypnosis. Use another double team since it resists both of my both of my attacks. It puts me to sleep. I wake up quickly, which is nice. I put it back to sleep. I've got all my double teams up, so I've got maximum badge boost against it. And I'm going to need it considering how little damage Dream Eater did. So wake up, put it back to sleep. I missed the Dream Eater, which I think is a 1 in 256 glitch. I think I've hit it 3 times and I've done so much damage. Even with my badge boosts, I'm doing nothing. This is why I preferred Psywave, because at least there was a chance of, doing over 50 damage. I didn't think it would be at all possible to actually knock it out with Thunderbolt and, Dream Eater. I mean, I thought it was possible, but I thought by the time I did it, I would have not enough PP for the rest of the Pokemon. Since I already did it 5 minutes into this challenge, which, is amazing. So, we've got 13 Dream Eaters, 12 now, and 14 Thunderbolts. I've used almost all my resources. It's in healing range. It still doesn't heal. I think it could have healed 3 times. I knock it out. Now for the Magneton. I outspeed it. I miss. It misses me. I put it to sleep, finally. Because it's the only way I can really damage it since it resists Thunderbolt. I do no damage to it. There we go. That was a better roll. Alright, it's pretty close. Oh, it's in healing range. It doesn't heal. And I knock it out. Alright, so I'm up to Cloister. It misses Aurora Beam. I put it to sleep. I finally have a super effective move against one of the Pokemon. It wakes up straight away almost. I paralyze it. And 3 Thunderbolts, it's down. I'm finally up to the Flareon. I hadn't gotten up to the Flareon yet. And I forgot that it had Reflect. And I think it can only use Reflect against me due to poor AI. I only have 3 Dream Eaters left. I was shitting myself. And I guess I needed Hypnosis, not to put it to sleep in order to avoid its attacks, but to do Dream Eater damage. But I've got 11 Thunderbolts. I don't think I've got any Hypnosises left. I paralyze it, which makes no difference. And I knock it out. I was very lucky. The amount of full restores that could have been used to stop me from winning is ridiculous. Just 1 full restore on Exeggutor means I've failed the run. And with the damage I'm doing, I think every attempt I had, Exeggutor had, the rival had like 4 or 5 shots of using a full restore due to AI on the Exeggutor to heal it. But yeah, I bet it finally. Alright, before I wrap up, I'm just going to talk about what made the final fight super duper duper hard. Number 1 was the 2 powerful special moves that Haunter had were resisted by the Exeggutor. Sandslash would one-shot me almost every time with Earthquake if it had a chance. I was speed tying with it, so 50% of the time I could use Hypnosis against it, which had a 55% chance of hitting. So just getting past the Sandslash alone, which needed more luck than just what I mentioned there, was a 25% chance. Then I had to conserve double teams. I couldn't really put up more than 3 or 4, which meant that the Alakazam had a pretty high chance of one-shotting me with its Psychic, which I had to be very careful of. So, yep, I had to beat the Sandslash, which was super hard. I had to dodge the first Psychic by Alakazam, put it to sleep, which is a 55% chance. I then had to knock it out, which took forever since it had a very high special, which meant that Thunderbolt wasn't doing much damage. I had to hope that there was no full restore used on it. Then I got up to the Exeggutor, which was harmless in terms of damage, but because it resisted both Thunderbolt and my Dream Eater, I was doing hardly any damage to it, which you saw. So I had to use my badge boosts, the remaining ones, to do enough damage to it to knock it out, which was still hardly any damage. Once I got it into healing range, which took a lot of PP from my attacks, the rival probably had like 3 or 4 attempts to use a full restore, and if that happened, that was also another way I would lose a run, because if I had to do 200% damage to it, then I would have run out of PP guaranteed. Then once I got past the Executor, as long as Magneton didn't paralyze me and I had decent luck, I would win the run really. I mean, I just had to knock out the Magneton and not get frozen or screwed by Cloister in some way. The Flareon, which I only got to once, would only use Reflect, so as long as I had the PP left, I would have won the challenge. It only took me over 5 hours in attempts to beat 5 trainers. But, you know what? That's what makes the challenge interesting to watch. There's going to be a lot more level 1 challenges. And after having such a hard time with this one, I'm going to do a bit more research and pick a better Pokemon for the next challenge. And hopefully the next few runs don't take as long. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please leave some comments down below suggesting some content which you would like to see. Subscribe if you like my stuff. And once again, thanks for watching.